Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. Today I'm playing as the Empire against Professor Pone's High Elves. And I love this matchup. Oops, don't want to turn GemFX on. Anyway, yeah, I love this matchup. It's so good, because it's two armies that are really just sort of balanced. They're not sort of one-trick armies, generally. They benefit from having a range of things. They need combined arms to really benefit, I think. They need good synergy between their units to perform, and they just generally have good synergy between their units, so it comes down to sort of how you command them a lot, and I really appreciate that in a faction. A lot of factions with Warhammer are very much, you know, they have a thing and they do that, whereas, yeah, these two factions, you can play them in so many ways, and I really like that. So anyway, my front line is a bunch of swordsmen. Usually I'd go with spears, but actually I want some swordsmen just to help kill the enemy spearmen a little bit better. I want a little bit more killing power in the front line, knowing that spearmen aren't really going to be able to hurt them that much. Spearmen aren't very good at killing, so I can go with something a bit more offensive in the front line rather than just something that's going to hold with higher melee defense. Also, I do have some halberdiers, so I have a couple units of them. That armor piercing and charge resist versus everything is really nice, really quite handy. Right, just real handy indeed. Also, silver bullets and the Hammer of the Witches. You'll notice both of these guys have magic damage, and that is necessary. A lot of things have physical resist that I will need to kill, namely the Dragon Princes. They need to die in a hurry. So having these guys is really handy, but also, even if it's not Dragon Princes, the armor piercing from both of these guys, the great range from the Hammer of the Witches, it's all just super useful. But I do have to be careful with the Hammer of the Witches. It can get taken out pretty easily by things like bolt throwers. It can be a real cost-effective way to deal with a unit like this. Also, I have a Grey Wizard, so I have Enfeebling Foe, Melkoth's, and Occam's Mindrazor. I want Occam's Mindrazor for the magic damage again. Give something magic damage, and they will be able to beat the crap out of Dragon Princes nice and easily, which I like. So, Karl Franz, Galvaraz, and Reichland Runefang, and Stand Your Ground for all the buffs, for everything nearby, and himself. Lovely stuff. You know, really get the most out of my units and shut things down quickly. I can't leave the High Elves time to heal up a unit. I need to wipe out a unit if I can catch it. So that's the way to do it. Also, here you can see Royal Otdorf Gryphites for some extra terror, and of course, huge stat line, great armor piercing, anti-large, and the Demigryphs with halberds here. Also, great armor piercing and anti-large. So, pretty fun build. Sigmar's Sons as well, to have something unbreakable to help defend. Just plug up a gap for a while. So, Professor Pone, he's gone with a great build here. He's got a bunch of Illyrian Reaver archers. These guys really quick, and even, you know, they can shoot things. Great, you know, that's lovely. But also on the charge, they can do some good work against sort of just cheaper units. Anything in the back line, they can deal with really comfortably. They are really versatile units. Also in the back here, some more Illyrian Reavers. He also has the Fireborn and some Dragon Princes. This is why I needed all of that magic damage and cannon fire. But he doesn't need artillery, really. He's got a Lithanar, who is essentially an artillery piece on his own. Also over here, Lawmaster of Hoeth, a nice resilient spellcaster that can't easily be sniped out. Very nice to have him backing up the front line. Also, some White Lions of Strace, but mostly Spearmen. The White Lions of Strace I will really have a hard time denting with my front line, because they do have some pretty good armor. So, yeah. Good fun. So here, sadly, the Grey Wizard is a big old target for a Lithanar here. It is a serious problem. A serious problem. But Hammer of the Witch is doing some great damage to the Illyrian Reaver archers, while the Fireborn and the Dragon Princes are out of range. So I am pushing up a little bit, create some distance, because I can't have these guys just taking pot shots at my Hammer of the Witches. So I am pushing up a bit with Demigryphs, just starting to probe, and I'm also pushing up with Karl Franz, who I'm pretty sure is going to make a beeline for these Illyrian Reavers in a second. So you can see his cavalry is starting to move up, and my silver bullets are going to start getting to position, and my halberdiers are starting to get into position. So my demigryphs are going to push across the lines, and you see Pone has to back off. He doesn't want to commit to the charge there. But hopefully, yep, I can get some good shots into the back of them, and I'm starting to kill some models already, thanks to the Hammer of the Witches. Yep, killing a lot of models, and that is super vital. You kill models, they can't be healed up, and that is really useful. Get rid of martial prowess permanently. So yep, they're taking some significant damage. Also, Illyrian Reavers are pushing in, so I'm just going to block them with Karl Franz, and the Demigryphs are going to turn around and deal with them. But he is charging in with superior units here, and the Grey Wizard is struggling so badly. I did actually sort of panic, and I think it was on the Altdorf Gryphites I used, God, what's it called? Occam's Mindrazor, but it wore off before I could get them in combat with anything useful. Fireball, no Enfeebling Foe on them, and you see they are suffering a lot. Already lost their martial prowess. With Enfeebling Foe, they have no stats. So, stupidly high damage very quickly. Sadly, though, the Gemfix Knights, I didn't realise there were White Lions in the way. I thought they were just spearmen, so I thought I could push through them, but the White Lions have far better mass So when I threw Karl Franz back here, he has been spirit leeched by the Lawmaster Hoeth. I thought this would be easy. I thought these demigriffs would be able to get on top of these Dragon Princes and just wipe them out. But now he's charging me with everything. He's got all of this archer fire. But they are a bit blobbed up, so I've got the Hammer of the Witches shooting at them too. And you see, these Dragon Princes did lose. But there's still a lot focusing on Karl Franz here. He's suffering quite a bit of damage. Altdorf Griffites have managed to sneak into the back, which is nice. And, you know, Franz is still going for now. But there's a lot of attention on him. So, artillery still probing away at these guys, and these Illyrian Reavers have shattered. These Dragon Princes super injured, and these Fireborns super injured. Both lost a ton of models. But, so my Demigriff Knights with the Halberds, and that sucks. So I need to pull them up and around, and of course I don't have healing myself. Bring such a, you know, expensive unit such as the Altdorf Griffites, usually you really want to make sure you have healing. But nope, I went with just killing power over everything. And sadly, Karl Franz is so injured here. He is so injured, and I can't heal him up. Boris might have been a better idea, to be honest. But, you know, I wanted to go with Karl Franz. He's my boy. So, Franz is about to die. He's about to die. Ah, rubbish. But, Melkoth's on the Fireball to slow down their charge, and I'm going to turn around with the Altdorf Griffites, and this is kind of even. You know, they have the anti-large, they don't really have the armor piercing, but they have just such great stats, the Fireball. So it works out fairly evenly here, but luckily these guys are already so damaged, the Altdorf Griffites should be able to do some good work. Also here, got the Demigriffs with Halberds moving around the other way, and here, Lawmaster Hoeth has managed to push his way in, and the Spearmen are pushing their way in, and the White Lines have pushed through those guys too, so I've got a lot of holes forming. I've got a lot of gaps forming in my lines. So here, Demigriff Knights are going to charge into the back of the White Lions. Sure, they're anti-large, they've got great armor piercing, and with a rear charge I can hopefully do some significant work. And my cannon's still doing a great job, 77 kills. And here, Halberds have managed to catch out the Lawmaster Hoeth, which is brilliant. They don't have great melee attack against his huge melee defense of 60, but they do have good armor piercing. And now, I've got my silver bullets shooting what they can, and annoyingly, the Demigriff Knights have run away. Leadership is really poor, and over here, this was just amateur hour. I had the Royal Altdorf Griffites just stood there getting shot at by the Illyrian Reavers for ages. Oh, and my Grey Wizard, I think, might be dead. He's dead or gone. I'm not sure which. But anyway, no more magic for me. Oh, God. Ooh, that's rough. But Demigriffs have come back, and I can get on top of these Illyrian Reavers, and hopefully keep the Hammer of the Witches in operation. Also, Altdorf Griffite did manage to help break these Spearmen, and now I have more units that can push in. I've also got unbreakable units keeping the White Lions busy, and they're going to be the biggest hassle to kill, basically. So, annoyingly, my silver bullets managed to get wrapped up in combat again, the Lawmaster just pushing his way in. And this, again, just great plays by Pwn, keeping the silver bullets busy, and it's allowing more of his infantry to start pushing in and getting into this back line, which makes it harder and harder to deal with them all. So, rear charge from the Demigriffs with Halberds, trying to help break these Spearmen, and now Swordsmen are going to push in to try and help too. Elithanar, annoyingly, still has ammunition left, and he's able to do some great damage to things like the Demigriffs. And now I have my silver bullets turning to try and deal with these Illyrian Reavers. Luckily, most of his cav back here is super injured, and I should be able to break them quite quickly, and my cannons are back online, and I think focusing, yep, on the healthier Illyrian Reavers. So, a couple of volleys, and they break before they reach. Excellent. Excellent stuff. But here, this is looking a bit iffy. Lawmaster still going strong, and Demigriff Knights are going to charge in, try and deal with these Fireborn, get a nice charge on them, but they get a charge too. And, oh my god, look at this, 200 health left against 800 for me, and Spearmen are coming to back them up, and I can't afford to be fighting these Spearmen when I have such little health. But, still got my artillery, and they are still getting some work in. Got my silver bullets shooting at these guys too. To the healthier unit, you can see leadership is pretty poor across the board over here, but my swordsmen are going, and the Demigriff Knights still having been shot at by Elithanar, who's now run out of ammunition. Finally, they're going to run in to try and deal with these Illyrian Reaver archers, keep the artillery going, and luckily I managed to break these Illyrian Reaver archers. Now the silver bullets are going to go for the other units, and hopefully not kill a bunch of my Demigriff Knights by accident. But Hammer of the Witch is not in a great position here. And the Spearmen, they're keeping the Halberds pretty busy and allowing the Lawmaster of Hoeth to keep in that fight. And Elithanar still on full health. Luckily, though, over here, managed to absolutely shatter these White Lions. And Elithanar's clone is trying to keep me busy. I need to get these unbreakable units in. Sigmar's Sons will actually do brilliantly against Elithanar. Because, well, they don't need the armor piercing against Elithanar with only 40 armor, but they're unbreakable. They'll just sit there and fight him forever. But, oh, Hammer of the Witch is running. It's running, trying to get some shots into the Spearmen. I'm having to run in with the Demigriff Knights just to keep the silver bullets going. These guys are too vital. I need that damage output. They still have plenty of ammo. Oh my god, this is so tense. So, yep, swordsman keeping these spearmen busy, and the Lordmaster Howarth charging me again, and I can't really chase them with the halberdiers because they're busy fighting the spearmen. Their leadership is bad. Oh, it's all bad. So, Sigmar's son's having to charge into these spearmen, and I'm trying to keep these Demigryph Knights away from Elithanar. I mean, he's got pretty good weapon strength, and when they have just such little health and such poor leadership, they can't afford to get into a fight. So here, trying to start charging everything around, and it's just an absolute nightmare keeping these silver bullets going. And now, an Earthblood keeping these guys in the fight. Luckily though, these spearmen did break, and I'm getting a rear charge into the back of these guys with my Demigryphs, and that should do some substantial damage. And now I can get my unbreakable units to chase down Elithanar. So over here, Demigryph Knights are actually going to charge off and deal with these spearmen in a second. I need to try and save what units I can. I can't afford for these halberdiers to lose this fight, so they will have to turn back in a minute. Swordsman now getting into the spearmen, which is great, and the halberds are on the Lordmaster Howarth again. Now, silver bullets, somehow, still going, can now get a good volley into Elithanar, and you'll see, they do substantial damage to him. Look at that. That's a good chunk of damage. Now you can see why I really want them alive. Just their damage output is amazing. So now, Demigryph Knights, you can see there the spearmen are wavering, so I get a charge into them, and that should break them and free up my knackered halberds, but at least it's one less unit for me to worry about, even if it's not really a unit of mine that needs worrying about too much. So anyway, here, Sigmar's sons trying to wrap up Elithanar, other swordsmen trying to wrap up Elithanar, and the silver bullets are trying to pull out of there, and they are escaping, which is brilliant. But halberds really on their last legs over here too, and that means the Lordmaster Howarth might win this fight, and dealing with the Lordmaster Howarth and Elithanar is a bit of a problem when I have very little left. So here, Foe Seeker keeping Lordmaster of Howarth's energy up, keeping his vigor up, very handy. But nice rear charge coming in from the Demigryph Knights, good charge bonus and armor piercing, and mostly it just knocks over the Lawmaster, and that's what I'm after. I want to keep him off his feet. If he's on the ground, he can't attack me, and that's more important. So another big old volley into Elithanar. I'm trying to whittle him down, and the clone comes in. And did you see the balance of power shift there when the clone got added? He shouldn't affect the balance of power. He's an ability. He's not a unit. It's annoying. Anyway, Lordmaster Howarth just holding in there. Look at his leadership. It is so poor. But I've got units breaking. Everything is wavering except Sigmar's sons, obviously. Thank God I have those guys. They're keeping everything in the fight. But another charge from the Demigryph Knights. Lordmaster Howarth only has 300 health left. Come on, break him. Yes, he's broken. He's broken. Now it's just Elithanar left. He is chasing down my silver bullets. They get another volley into him, doing some substantial damage, and Sigmar's sons having to chase after him. The decoy keeping them busy. But yeah, I can't believe the decoy affects the balance of power as much as it does. It's ridiculous. If you didn't see that, rewind it or something. It's nuts how much it shifts. Anyway, there he goes. There he goes. And now Sigmar's son's charging in again, and silver bullets pulling out. But look at this. Oh, everything is wavering so badly. Everything is wavering so badly. It is not good. But yeah, this Lordmaster Howarth needs to get chased off. The halberdiers are going to have to stay on him. And I actually keep on a bit with the Demigryphs just so I can shatter him. And I do. Oh, he's dead. I think he might be dead. Maybe he's dead. I think he's dead. I killed him. He's dead. Phew. Phew. And now, I have the Demigryph Knights that can knock him over. And I can still shoot at him. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. So pull out with the Sigmar's sons, get a volley into him, knowing that the Demigryph Knights can just charge into him, knock him over, and I can pull these guys out again and repeat. But Elithanar realises it too, and legs it into the desert, where, I don't know, he might start a family with some desert creatures. I don't know what he's into. So, Pyrrhic victory. My god, that was tense. Pwn played brilliantly there. He played very well. But that was tough. I'm amazed I managed to pull that out. Just without healing, and the fact that he had an artillery piece as a general, it made that so rough. Just the amount of damage that he was able to put into things, quite sneakily. It really adds up, you know, my spellcaster being taken out so early. Thank God he didn't go for the Hammer of the Witches. He could have focused down the Hammer of the Witches with his Moonbow ability. You can destroy artillery pieces so quickly, and that would have won him the fight, honestly. One Moonbow on the Hammer of the Witches, you know, that got a third fewer kills. Yeah, I would have lost. I think. But he had a lot of other things to be concerned with. You know, the Demigryphs, Karl Franz, the spellcaster. I made sure to put that pressure on so he didn't have the space to decide what to attack like that, you know? I didn't give him the room. I had to play very aggressively just to make sure he couldn't capitalise on the fact he had an artillery piece from a general. And, well, it paid off. Just about paid off. But, man, that was close. That was a tough fight. So, yeah, beautifully played by Professor Pwn. And now I'm feeling a bit better for this tournament. that I'm going to be in. So be sure to stay tuned for that. I don't know when it's happening. I don't know when it's going to turn up on the channel, but more about that later. So hopefully, guys, this has made up for the lack of Total War content. Well, Total War Warhammer content recently. Like I said, it's going to be on weekends from now on. That's the plan for the near future. And mini-series in the week. Obviously, it's a bit in flux at the moment because I was ill last week, so it's messed things up a bit, so bear that in mind. But yeah, a lot of fun. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.